Meditation is often seen as a simple act of sitting quietly, but in reality, it is a powerful form of mental training that has the ability to reshape the way the brain responds to stress, emotions, and everyday challenges. In a world filled with constant noise, pressure, and distractions, our minds rarely get a moment to rest. The result is a state of chronic stress and emotional fatigue that slowly eats away at our mental health and happiness. Meditation offers a way out of this cycle. It allows the mind to slow down, to observe rather than react, and to create space between stimulus and response. That space is where calmness and clarity begin to grow, giving us control over our emotions instead of being controlled by them. Through consistent meditation practice, the brain learns new patterns. It becomes less reactive, more focused, and more aware of the present moment. Scientific studies show that meditation directly impacts areas of the brain linked to stress and emotional control. The amygdala, which triggers fear and anxiety, becomes less active during and after meditation, while the prefrontal cortex, responsible for logical thinking and decision making, becomes more engaged. This means that when stressful situations arise, the brain does not immediately jump into panic mode. Instead, it pauses, assesses, and responds calmly. Over time, this response becomes natural, not forced. Meditation literally trains the brain to stay balanced. Just as physical exercise strengthens the body, meditation strengthens the mind's ability to manage emotional pressure. What makes meditation so remarkable is its simplicity. It does not require any special equipment, environment, or belief system. All it needs is consistency and awareness. By focusing on the breath or simply observing thoughts as they come and go, meditation helps detach from emotional turbulence. People who meditate regularly report feeling lighter, more centered, and less overwhelmed by daily worries. This emotional stability extends beyond the meditation session itself. It seeps into conversations, work, relationships, and decision-making. The calmness built through meditation acts as a protective shield against negativity and emotional exhaustion. When the brain becomes calmer, the body follows. Stress hormones like cortisol decrease, and the parasympathetic nervous system activates, leading to lower heart rate and blood pressure. The sense of inner peace that meditation creates is not just psychological, it is deeply physiological. The brain and body communicate continuously, and meditation restores harmony between them. It teaches the mind to remain aware without judgment, and this awareness helps in breaking automatic negative thinking patterns. Instead of reacting to every emotion or thought, meditation teaches observation and acceptance. With time, the mind becomes more flexible and adaptable. Meditation also nurtures self-awareness, which is the foundation of emotional intelligence. When you understand your thoughts and emotions clearly, you gain control over them. You begin to recognize the difference between reacting impulsively and responding mindfully. This heightened awareness brings confidence and inner strength. You no longer feel like a victim of your emotions or circumstances because meditation gives you the ability to pause, reflect, and respond with wisdom. That pause, that moment of stillness, changes everything. Another powerful effect of meditation is how it alters your perception of daily challenges. Problems that once seemed overwhelming start to appear manageable. The mind becomes more solution-focused instead of problem-obsessed. This doesn't mean challenges disappear. Rather, your relationship with them changes. Meditation helps you see things as they are, not as your stress or fear exaggerates them to be. When you operate from a calm and stable mindset, you handle pressure with greater ease, and this calmness radiates outward, positively influencing those around you. Through consistent practice, meditation transforms the brain's structure and function, leading to long-term emotional resilience. The more you meditate, the more your brain wires itself for peace instead of panic. This transformation creates a foundation of stability that supports creativity, focus, and compassion. Meditation becomes more than just a daily ritual. It becomes a way of living and thinking that aligns the mind with balance and clarity. It helps you carry a sense of calm even in chaos, and teaches that true strength lies not in reacting, but in remaining still and aware within the storm. Modern neuroscience has provided fascinating evidence that meditation can physically change the structure and functioning of the human brain. What was once considered a purely spiritual practice is now recognized as a scientifically supported method to reduce anxiety, improve emotional health, and enhance brain function. One of the most significant findings is how meditation affects the amygdala, a small almond-shaped part of the brain located deep in the limbic system. The amygdala plays a critical role in processing emotions such as fear, anger, and stress. When faced with a threatening or stressful situation, the amygdala activates the body's fight-or-flight response, releasing stress hormones and heightening alertness. However, in today's world, many people live in a constant state of this stress response due to work pressure, social tension, and emotional overload. Overactivation of the amygdala leads to chronic anxiety, irritability, and emotional exhaustion. Meditation changes this dynamic by calming and reshaping the amygdala over time. Research using brain imaging technologies like MRI and fMRI has shown that regular meditation can actually shrink the size of the amygdala. This reduction does not mean that emotional responses disappear, but rather that the brain becomes more efficient at regulating them. When the amygdala is less reactive, the mind doesn't automatically jump into panic or fear mode at every minor stressor. This means meditation helps the brain develop emotional stability and resilience. People who meditate regularly report feeling calmer and more composed, even in situations that used to cause anxiety or frustration. This is not just a psychological effect. It is a measurable biological change in how the brain functions. What makes this transformation even more powerful is how meditation strengthens the communication between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational thinking, decision making, and emotional regulation. In stressful situations, the prefrontal cortex often gets overridden by the amygdala's emotional reactions. Meditation reverses this process, allowing the prefrontal cortex to stay active and in control. As a result, the mind responds thoughtfully instead of impulsively. This connection explains why meditators are better at handling conflict, maintaining focus under pressure, and making clear decisions during emotional challenges. Meditation builds a stronger bridge between emotion and logic, allowing both to work in harmony instead of opposition. Another important effect is how meditation influences the production of neurotransmitters and hormones. Regular meditation helps lower cortisol levels, the hormone responsible for stress, while increasing the production of serotonin and dopamine, which are linked to happiness and emotional well-being. This chemical balance creates a sense of calmness and positivity that carries over into daily life. The nervous system becomes more balanced, and the body's natural relaxation response becomes stronger. This is why people often feel lighter, more centered, and more optimistic after meditation, even if the session was short. The reduction in amygdala activity also helps prevent overthinking and emotional overreactions. When the brain is constantly alert, even small problems can feel overwhelming. Meditation teaches the mind to slow down, to observe emotions rather than be consumed by them. This shift from reaction to observation is one of the greatest gifts of meditation. It cultivates patience and mindfulness, allowing emotions to rise and fade naturally without being suppressed or exaggerated. Over time, this practice rewires the brain to remain peaceful and aware even during moments of chaos. The long-term impact of these changes goes far beyond individual stress relief. When people are calmer, more emotionally balanced, and less reactive, their relationships, communication, and overall mental health improve dramatically. The brain becomes more resilient to external triggers, and emotional recovery after difficulties becomes faster. Meditation gives you the ability to face life's challenges from a grounded and centered place, rather than being pulled into emotional turbulence. It shows that emotional control is not about suppressing feelings, but about mastering the way the brain processes them. Meditation allows the amygdala to rest and gives the mind the freedom to function with clarity and composure, turning inner peace into a natural state rather than a temporary escape. Meditation has a profound impact on the hippocampus, a vital structure in the brain responsible for memory formation, learning, and emotional regulation. The hippocampus acts as the brain's library, storing and organizing experiences, knowledge, and skills. However, chronic stress, anxiety, and negative thinking can damage this region over time, leading to forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, and even depression. When stress hormones like cortisol remain elevated for long periods, they shrink the hippocampus, impairing cognitive function and emotional stability. Meditation, however, has been proven through scientific research to counteract this process by increasing gray matter density in the hippocampus, thereby enhancing memory, learning ability, and overall mental clarity. During meditation, the body enters a state of deep relaxation while the mind remains alert and focused. This balanced state reduces the production of stress hormones and allows the brain to repair itself. Studies using MRI scans have shown that people who meditate regularly have a larger and healthier hippocampus compared to those who don't. This structural growth indicates that meditation promotes neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons, and strengthens existing neural pathways. As a result, the brain becomes more efficient at processing information, retaining memories, and adapting to new experiences. This is particularly important in today's world, where multitasking, information overload, and constant digital distractions make it harder to stay mentally sharp and focused. Meditation also improves the quality of attention, which directly supports memory formation. When the mind is calm and focused, it becomes easier to absorb and recall information. Many people experience forgetfulness not because their memory is weak, but because their attention is scattered. Meditation trains the brain to stay present, reducing mind wandering and increasing concentration. By repeatedly bringing attention back to a single point, such as the breath, a mantra, or bodily sensations, meditation strengthens the brain's ability to focus. Over time, this mental discipline enhances both short-term and long-term memory because the hippocampus can encode and retrieve information more effectively. Beyond cognitive improvement, meditation helps maintain emotional balance by regulating the hippocampus's interaction with other brain regions, especially the amygdala. The amygdala triggers stress and fear responses, while the hippocampus helps contextualize and calm these reactions. When the hippocampus is strong, it can prevent the amygdala from overreacting, allowing a person to process emotional experiences with perspective and understanding. This balanced interaction creates a stable emotional state, reducing anxiety and mood swings. People who meditate consistently report feeling more emotionally grounded and less reactive to external stressors, which directly reflects a healthier hippocampal function. Meditation's influence on the hippocampus also extends to creativity and problem solving. A calm and balanced brain is more open to new ideas and flexible thinking. When stress levels decrease, the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex can work together more efficiently, allowing for deeper insights and innovative solutions. Meditation creates the mental space necessary for creativity to flourish because the brain is no longer cluttered by constant worry or distraction. It becomes easier to connect ideas, see patterns, and think with clarity. In addition to cognitive and emotional benefits, meditation offers long-term protection for the hippocampus against age-related decline. As people grow older, the hippocampus naturally tends to shrink, which can lead to memory problems and slower learning. However, studies have shown that older adults who practice meditation regularly maintain more gray matter volume in this region. This preservation of brain structure translates to sharper thinking, better recall, and improved overall mental health even in later years. Meditation, therefore, acts as a kind of mental exercise that keeps the brain youthful and resilient. Ultimately, meditation's ability to strengthen and expand the hippocampus demonstrates how powerful the mind-body connection truly is. By simply sitting still and focusing inward, you activate the brain's self-healing and growth mechanisms. Each moment of mindfulness nurtures neural health, improves memory retention, and promotes emotional harmony. The practice builds a brain that is not only smarter, but also calmer and more compassionate. In a world where mental overload and stress dominate daily life, meditation stands as a simple yet transformative practice that restores clarity, sharpens memory, and keeps the mind balanced and alive. One of the most fascinating aspects of meditation is how it influences emotional balance and positive mood through its impact on the left prefrontal cortex, the region of the brain associated with happiness, optimism, and emotional well-being. Neuroscientists have found that people who meditate regularly show increased activity in this part of the brain, which directly correlates with greater levels of joy, compassion, and emotional stability. This means meditation does not just calm the mind in the moment, but also trains the brain to adopt a more positive emotional baseline. Rather than being ruled by stress, anger, or sadness, individuals who meditate develop the ability to experience peace and contentment more naturally and consistently. The left prefrontal cortex plays a crucial role in regulating how we interpret and respond to life's experiences. When this region is underactive, negative emotions tend to dominate, leading to feelings of pessimism, anxiety, or hopelessness. Meditation activates and strengthens the left prefrontal cortex, tipping the balance away from negative emotional states and toward positivity and resilience. This shift in brain activity helps people recover from emotional challenges faster and maintain a sense of calm even when facing adversity. Essentially, meditation teaches the brain to focus on what is present and good rather than being overwhelmed by fear or regret. It becomes easier to find gratitude in small moments, to feel compassion toward others, and to experience genuine joy without relying on external validation. What makes this transformation so powerful is that it happens through consistent, intentional practice. When you meditate, you train your attention to return to the present moment again and again, whether through focusing on your breath, repeating a mantra, or simply observing your thoughts. Each time your mind drifts and you gently bring it back, you are strengthening neural pathways that support calmness and awareness. Over time, these pathways become the brain's default mode, meaning that feelings of peace, patience, and positivity begin to arise more effortlessly. This neurological training is why long-term meditators often describe themselves as more emotionally balanced, less judgmental, and more compassionate. Meditation also enhances empathy and kindness, which are deeply connected to positive mood. When the mind is quiet and the heart is open, it becomes easier to connect with others on a deeper level. Scientific studies have shown that loving kindness meditation, a specific form of mindfulness practice, increases feelings of warmth and compassion toward oneself and others. This emotional openness releases oxytocin, the hormone associated with love and trust, creating a cycle of well-being that nurtures both the mind and body. As emotional intelligence grows, relationships become healthier, communication improves, and inner peace deepens. Another reason meditation boosts mood is its ability to reduce overactivity in the default mode network of the brain, the system responsible for self-referential thinking and rumination. This network is active when we dwell on the past or worry about the future, both of which fuel anxiety and sadness. Meditation quiets this mental chatter by anchoring attention to the present. As a result, the mind spends less time replaying regrets or imagining problems and more time experiencing the moment as it is. This shift toward mindfulness reduces emotional turbulence and fosters a lasting sense of inner happiness that does not depend on changing circumstances. Beyond psychological well-being, meditation also improves the body's chemistry in ways that support a positive mood. It lowers cortisol levels, which are associated with stress, and increases serotonin, the neurotransmitter linked with happiness and relaxation. The combined effect of these biological changes is a calmer nervous system and a more joyful, stable emotional state. People who meditate often describe feeling lighter, more patient, and more at peace with themselves and the world. Over time, these changes build an enduring sense of emotional resilience. Meditation trains the brain to return to balance quickly after moments of tension or sadness. Instead of suppressing emotions, it helps individuals acknowledge and release them in a healthy way. This emotional maturity leads to a deeper sense of happiness, one that is not dependent on constant pleasure, but on acceptance, awareness, and gratitude. The practice of meditation thus becomes a bridge between mind and emotion, helping the brain sustain positivity, compassion, and inner harmony even amidst the inevitable challenges of life. The brain is constantly changing, adapting, and rewiring itself in response to experiences, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. Meditation takes advantage of this natural ability by reshaping the brain to promote calmness, focus, and emotional stability. When practiced consistently, meditation strengthens the neural pathways that support peace and reduces those associated with stress, fear, and negativity. Over time, this process rewires the brain to respond to life's challenges with clarity rather than chaos. It is a transformation that happens quietly yet powerfully, as the mind gradually learns to remain centered even in difficult situations. In daily life, the brain often becomes conditioned to react impulsively to external pressures. Stressful work environments, emotional conflicts, and constant digital stimulation all reinforce pathways that lead to anxiety and restlessness. Meditation interrupts these patterns by slowing down the mind and redirecting awareness to the present moment. Every time attention drifts and is gently brought back to the breath or another point of focus, the brain is learning discipline and control. This repetition forms new neural circuits that promote stability, patience, and focus. The more often this happens, the stronger these pathways become, and the easier it is to remain calm under pressure. Neuroplasticity means that the brain is never fixed. It is always capable of growth and repair. Meditation enhances this ability by increasing gray matter density in regions responsible for learning, emotional regulation, and memory. It also improves communication between the prefrontal cortex, which governs rational thought, and the limbic system, which controls emotions. As these connections strengthen, emotional balance improves, and the mind becomes less reactive to stressors. This balance creates a sense of inner peace that is both deep and enduring. People who meditate regularly often describe feeling as if they can observe their emotions from a distance rather than being overwhelmed by them. This awareness is one of the most profound outcomes of neuroplastic change. The effects of meditation extend beyond the brain to influence the entire body. Chronic stress triggers a cascade of physiological responses, elevated blood pressure, muscle tension, and the release of stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, these reactions wear down both physical and mental health. Meditation activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and recovery. This activation slows the heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and reduces cortisol levels. It brings the body into a state of relaxation that promotes healing and restores energy. This biological calmness mirrors the mental stillness that meditation cultivates, showing that the mind and body are deeply connected. Meditation also enhances sleep quality by quieting the restless thoughts that often keep people awake at night. As the brain learns to relax and stay present, it becomes easier to fall asleep and remain asleep throughout the night. Better sleep further supports brain function, emotional regulation, and physical health, creating a positive feedback loop of well-being. Many practitioners notice that they wake up feeling more refreshed and emotionally balanced, which improves mood and productivity throughout the day. In addition to these health benefits, meditation fosters a greater sense of compassion and mindfulness in daily interactions. When the brain is no longer dominated by stress and fear, it becomes more open, empathetic, and kind. This change is reflected in how individuals treat themselves and others. They respond with patience instead of frustration, understanding instead of judgment. These qualities naturally arise from a calm and balanced mind, proving that meditation not only transforms individual well-being, but also positively influences relationships and communities. What makes this transformation truly remarkable is its simplicity. Just a few minutes of daily meditation can begin to create measurable changes in brain structure and function. The process requires no equipment or special setting, only intention and consistency. With each session, the brain becomes more resilient, adaptable, and peaceful. The rewiring of neural pathways through meditation demonstrates that calmness is not a temporary state but a trainable skill. By practicing awareness and stillness regularly, the brain learns to choose peace over panic, clarity over confusion, and compassion over criticism, making meditation one of the most powerful tools. For lasting mental and emotional transformation, meditation is not only a practice of mental stillness, but also a powerful force for holistic transformation, affecting both the brain and the body in measurable and lasting ways. When practiced regularly, it brings about harmony between mind and physiology, improving emotional health, physical wellness, and overall quality of life. What makes meditation so remarkable is its ability to produce wide-ranging benefits without the need for external tools or medications. It works by activating the body's natural healing systems, reducing stress, and promoting balance at every level of being. The mind and body are deeply interconnected, and when one heals, the other follows. Meditation serves as the bridge between the two, restoring equilibrium and clarity in an increasingly chaotic world. One of the most immediate physiological benefits of meditation is the reduction of stress and anxiety. When the mind is restless or fearful, the body responds with elevated heart rate, increased blood pressure, and a surge of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. Over time, this state of chronic stress damages the immune system, disrupts sleep, and contributes to many physical illnesses. Meditation reverses this process by stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for relaxation and recovery. This activation slows down the heartbeat, relaxes the muscles, and lowers blood pressure, allowing the body to rest deeply and restore itself. Regular meditation helps the nervous system reset from constant alertness to a state of balance, which in turn improves overall well-being. At the same time, meditation influences brain chemistry in ways that directly affect mood and emotional resilience. It increases the production of serotonin and dopamine, neurotransmitters associated with happiness, calmness, and motivation. These changes lead to a greater sense of joy and inner peace, even without any change in external circumstances. Meditation also reduces cortisol levels, which helps regulate appetite, sleep, and energy levels. The combined effect is a more stable emotional state, where mood swings and irritability become less frequent. People who meditate regularly often describe feeling lighter, more patient, and more at ease in their daily lives. This emotional steadiness creates a foundation for better relationships, clearer thinking, and a more optimistic outlook. The physical benefits of meditation go far beyond relaxation. Scientific research has shown that it strengthens the immune system by reducing inflammation and improving the body's ability to fight off disease. Regular meditators have been found to recover faster from illness and experience fewer symptoms of chronic pain and fatigue. Meditation also supports heart health by improving circulation and reducing the strain on blood vessels. These effects demonstrate that calming the mind has a direct and profound impact on the body's ability to heal and thrive. Sleep is another area where meditation produces remarkable improvements. Many people struggle with insomnia or restless nights due to overthinking and anxiety. Meditation helps quiet the mental noise that prevents restful sleep. By training the mind to focus and release tension, it allows the body to relax naturally. This not only helps individuals fall asleep faster, but also improves the quality of sleep, leading to greater energy and mental clarity during the day. A well-rested mind is more capable of focus, creativity, and emotional balance, which further enhances the benefits of meditation in daily life. In addition to health improvements, meditation cultivates a sense of mindfulness that extends into every action and thought. It makes individuals more aware of their bodies, habits, and choices. This awareness leads to healthier decisions, whether in diet, exercise, or emotional responses. People who meditate often develop a stronger connection to themselves, learning to listen to the signals of their body and respond with care rather than neglect. This self-awareness reduces harmful behaviors such as overeating, excessive worrying, or reacting impulsively under stress. Ultimately, meditation nurtures a balanced state of being where mind and body function in harmony. The practice rewires the brain to favor calmness and clarity, while the body benefits from reduced stress and increased vitality. Together, these changes create a foundation for lasting health, happiness, and resilience. Meditation proves that true wellness does not come from external achievement or material comfort, but from the inner peace that arises when the mind is quiet and the body is at ease.